If you learn anything from this movie, it's that you don't fuck with little old Chinese women in Chinatown. Because apparently they're ruthless as hell. Snakehead is brought to us by director Evan Jackson Leon and stars Shuya Chang, Sung Kang, and Jade Wu. So Snakehead is about a woman who is an illegal Chinese immigrant living in New York City named Sister C, played by Shuya Chang. C bought herself into the country via the underground and is paying that debt off, being a prostitute and later on other nefarious underground duties. Her ultimate goal is to pay off her debt and get out there and find her missing daughter that went to America 8 years ago. In the process of doing that, she gets tangled up with human trafficking and eventually becomes a snakehead. And no, that doesn't mean she becomes a giant serpent's head. A snakehead is kind of like the Chinese version of a coyote. That is to say that she smuggles people from America to China much like she was. And we pretty much get to see her rise through this criminal organization and how it changes her as a person and her life. So Snakehead weaves an intriguing, if not familiar, narrative. It is entertaining, but you've seen many like it before. There's not a whole lot of surprises here. I was never bored, but I was never really invested in it either. There's some interesting things going on here, but the movie never actually focuses enough on any of them in order for them to have an actual emotional impact on you. It's like Cliff Notes. You get the whole story, but it feels like it's from a distance. Overall, the movie's narrative is just kind of missing an emotional connection, and that does kind of hurt it. Now, it does have good performances. Shuya Chang does a great job as a victim who ends up taking charge of her life. She is a character that you want to succeed. You want to see things work out for her. Now, she's not perfect, but she is still sympathetic enough for us to want to follow her, especially compared to all the other shitbags around her. Jade Wu as Dai Mai, the head of this organization that C is a part of, is fucking awesome here. She's maternal and menacingly intimidating at the same time. This is an old woman that you do not want to fuck with, and probably the most interesting character out of everybody here. Sung Kang is here as well, and many of you may know him as Han from the Fast and Furious franchise, and he's fine. He does a pretty good job. But really, I get the feeling that he's really just in the movie to sell tickets. That being said, he and everybody else in the film all do really good jobs. These are some really solid performances across the board. The movie's also got some really nice cinematography. Overall, the movie looks good. Actually, at times, the movie looks great. There's some really interesting shots in the movie, and they do a fine job of telling a story with the camera. The audio mix is really weird, though. For the most part, it's fine, but there are these random moments where it's just really hard to hear and understand what they're saying. It also sounds like there's some really odd ADR here or there, and I don't know why these choices were made. I'm gonna assume that they didn't have time to go back and shoot something, so they took audio from another scene and put it on a different scene, and that always seems a bit off. For the most part, though, everything sounds fine, but those few moments did kind of make me take pause. Guys, Snakehead overall was fine. I think it aspired to tell a story that was bigger than they were able to tell. It has some really good performances. Technically, for the most part, it's really competent, and it does have its entertaining moments. But it is overall let down by its narrative that never quite allows you to connect with anyone or thing. They seemed more concerned with getting story beats in instead of actually exploring some of those story beats so you could have something to connect to. Overall, the movie's not a total loss though, and it is entertaining, and it is also worth streaming.
Across the street.
I wanted this movie to be a bit more, but at least it wasn't a total bust. It's fine, and if you like crime dramas, you're probably gonna find some sort of entertainment from this thing, so if that is your thing, then check out Snakehead one night, and I think you're gonna have a relatively good time with it. So there it is, guys, my review of Snakehead. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below and become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits to go along with that, like these guys, and possibly join my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Greg. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Chinatown.
What would you do if someone betrayed your family?
So some of the promotional material out there for this movie, not all of it, but some of the promotional material, with its wording, leads you to believe that this is based on a true story. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was at least one trailer or something I saw that did say based on a true story. And after a little bit of research and the fact that in the end of the credits it says the characters depicted here are all fictitious, nope, that's a fucking lie. This movie is not based on a true story. Now, the things that happen in this movie may be based on things that do happen out there in the world, like snakeheads and stuff like that. But these events, like these specific events, they did not happen. These are not real things. This is all fictitious. So don't go into this thing thinking it's a true life story, even though there is stuff out there that is at least leading us to believe that. Lying ass motherfuckers.